Hello and welcome. This is lesson 1.1, the first in series of Math 020 pre-algebra, recorded for St. Louis Community College by Dr. Victoria Shearing. In this lesson, we will review whole numbers. We will learn how to write them in standard form. We will talk about rounding, and that will conclude our lesson. So we're going to start with the concept of the place value. In order for us to express everything that we do in math with numbers, we need to have symbols to record the variety of numbers that we have in mathematics. We use with digits. So digits such as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. There are 10 digits, so the digits allow us to write numbers. Or create numbers. All right, so in order for us to write any kind of numbers, we need to use digits. Of all the multitude of numbers that there are in mathematics, this unit 1 will focus on numbers. Whole numbers are counting numbers. Such as they don't have decimals, they don't have fractions, they don't have any of the other things that you can think of numbers. So counting numbers, that means, so for example, you have 3, you have 14, you have 1,000, okay? So all positive, okay? And then once we start combining our digits in all sorts of ways, we can have the 1-digit number, 2-digit number, 3-digit number, and the list goes on. So in order for us to understand the numbers better and see them for human eye, to see them easier, we use the place value. So the place value is a system that separates numbers into groups of 3 and assigns a value to them. So a system that separates large numbers into groups of 3 and name those with the value name. So here in this table below, you can see that we have the place value, we have the groups. We start counting from the left, so you have the ones, the thousands, millions, billions, and trillions. We're not going to go beyond that for the matter of this course. And then inside each group, you start from the right to left. You have ones, tens, and hundreds. So that would complete the group of ones. So the highest number in the group of ones would be 999 because that is a 3-digit number. If you add one more to that, you will have 1,000. So now it is a 4-digit number, which you have all the zeros in the group of ones, and now you rolled over to the thousands. So the place value allows us to create, along with the digits, allows us to create more and more numbers. And every time as the number goes larger than the place that they can hold it, which is going to roll into the next group of place value. So we are going to practice a couple of things here. In first example, we're going to look at the we're going to look at the number underlined and give the place value for the underlined digit. Okay. So here in the first example, number 7 is underlined. So it is the second group from the right. So it's going to be in the thousands group. And then in the thousands group, it occupies this place right here, the very far right place. So that means we are in the 100,000s. So the next number has the 3 underlined, and it is in the third group, which is the millions. And again, you're looking at your group of 3 starting from the right. You have the millions, and then the next is going to be 10 millions. So that is your answer. Okay. In the next example, you're asked to circle the digit in the indicated place for each of the following numbers. So in part A, you're looking at the number and you're looking for hundreds. So your hundreds are going to be in the first group with the ones. You have the 1 stands in hundreds, so you would have a 0 in the hundreds. And then the next one is you need to look at the thousands place. So that would be the second group, and it would be the very first digit that would indicate the thousands place. Okay. So the numbers in example 2, when you looked at those, they are written in the standard form. So to write the number in the standard form, write the whole number in words, you will separate the numbers in groups, kind of like we had here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 groups here. So you will separate the numbers in groups starting from the right, count 3 at a time, and put the comma in there. Then you're going to start on the left with the highest group. Okay, so starting on the left. Okay, in each group, you are going to name the number and then followed by the name of that group. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at it and practice. So you're going to separate the number into groups. Starting with the left one, you're going to name the number and then followed by the name of the group. So the first example that we have, example 3, you have 970. Okay, so it is just one group. So we just going to name this number. So you have 9, and it is in the place of 100. And then you have 17. So you do not need to follow by the period name because it's in the ones, and ones gets a minute. So the next one, you have 402, 668. So there's 2 groups. One, there's a thousands group and there's a ones group. So let's go ahead and look at the 402 in the thousands group. And it is, you start with the digit, which is the 4. It's in the place of 100. So you have 400. Then you're going to skip that 0 because it's just 402. Okay, you don't have to say ones. So you name that 402 as 402. Now you need to attach the place value to it, thousands, and then you keep going. So now we have 668. Well, the first 6 is in the 100 place, so 600. And then next one is 60, and then you attach the 8 to it, 68. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go backwards and reading the word description. We're going to write each of the following as a number in standard form. So we have 8,081. So I know I have 2 periods. So it's going to be at least a 4-digit number. So in the thousands place, I have 8, just 8. So 8,000. And then in the ones place, I have 81. So I don't have anything in the hundreds there, so I'm going to put a 0 in there, and then 81, 8,081. So the next one is 45,200,601. So the 41 million tells me that I am going to have 3 groups of 3 periods, okay? So I have the millions, I have the hundreds, and then I have the ones. I have the thousands and I have the ones. So let's go ahead and write your 45 million. So it's 45, and that's the million place. 200,000. So in the 100,000, in the thousands, all I have is 200 part. So 200, the place name is 1,000. And then in the ones, I have 601. So I have a 6 in the 100 place and 1 in the 1 place, and then I have a 0. So here's the whole number, 45, 200, 601. So that's your answer. All right, so that concludes our brief review about how the numbers are composed, how to read them, and how to write them. The next skill of this lesson, very important skill, is the rounding whole numbers. So we're going to look at a couple of examples here. And then we are going to review the rule how to round numbers. So if you're looking at the first example, which is right here, the 72, and if you were did not really care about the precision, but kind of want to know, is it closer to 70 or 80? Well, it is closer to 70 because on the number line, it is closer to 70. All right. Then the next number, we're going to look at the 76. 76 is closer to 80, so we would round 76 to 80 and 72 to 70. So those are easy cases because you can just kind of look at the number line and see where it falls. But what if your number is right in the middle? You have a choice. You can round it down to 70, or you can go up to 80. And when we do have a choice, the mathematicians created a rule. We need to have a rule for that choice. So everybody does it the same way. So when we are exactly in the middle, we're going to round it up. So the 75 is going to round up to approximately 80. So those squiggly lines are the approximation or rounding symbol. So now we're ready for the formalized rule, how to round numbers. So when you round numbers, you are going to first locate the digit to the right of the given place value. In any problem, you would be asked to round to certain place value. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to look at the next digit. If that next digit is 5 or greater, you're going to add 1 to the digit in the given place and replace each digit to its right by 0. If the next digit is less than 5, replace it and each digit to its right by 0. Okay. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to keep this rule up, and we have 4 problems to do. So you have 273. You need to round to the nearest 10. So your nearest 10 is at 7. So this is where we stop. So 273, we stop at 7 because that's the 10th place. Now let's look at the digit to the right of that one. So that's your step 1, and that's a 3. So because it is a 3, you will go into step number 3 in our rule. Replace 3 and each digit to its right by a 0. Well, there's only 3 here, so we're leaving 7 alone and replacing 3 with a 0. So 273 rounded to the nearest 10 is 270. Because when they tell you round to the nearest and the place value, so that means that is the place value where you normally would have your last digit other than 0. So let's go look at the B. You have 8494, and you need to round that to the nearest 100. So let's locate the 100, which is your first 4 in the number. So 8494. This is where we stop. So we either going to have 4 in here, or we might go up to a 5. Well, let's take a look at the next digit, which is a 9. And because it is greater than 5, we have to change the 4 to a 5. So you have 85, and then so that is your step number 2. We did step number 2, and then now we are replacing the remaining digits with zeros. So 8494 rounded to the nearest 100 gives us 8500. Okay. So we have a couple of more, and then we are done with this lesson. So 898 to the nearest 10. Okay, so I have 898. This is where I stop, supposed to stop. So, but because of the 8, okay, so the 8 would make me add one more digit to the 9. So 8 is a 0, but so plus 1. Okay, so 9 becomes a 10 because but I cannot put a 2-digit in a 1-digit place. So I'm going to get the 0 in here and then roll over that extra digit to the first 8. So even though it says round to the nearest 10, because the original 10 had a 10th place, had a 9 in there. When we round it up, we have to spill over to the hundreds place. Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, so the next one is going to be to the nearest 1,000. So 179, 406. The 1,000 place is right here. And then we have the 4 behind the 9. So that is less than 5. So all I have to do is replace the numbers behind 9 with a 0 and leave everything untouched. So it's 179,000. And then we have the last one for this lesson. Again, 999,995 to the nearest 10. So let me go ahead and write that, 995. The nearest 10 is right here, okay? So let's look at the digit to the right of that first 9, and it's a 5. So we're going to have a lot of rolling over. So the first is the 5 makes it a 10, and then we keep going because everything is going to be a 10. So this is where that 10 lands. And that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you for watching.